We don't support incineration either because we see that as burning valuable resources. There's a tremendous amount of energy and resources as well as waste produced in the production of products, in the life cycle of a product, upstream to when you have it that the public is using and throwing away. And for every ton of material that we deal with at the city level, 70 tons of waste have been produced upstream. We call that what we deal with at the municipal level, just the tip of the wasteberg of everything that's involved in producing those products and that waste. So by recycling, reducing waste, we actually save all those resources, which is much more resource savings than the energy we get from burning the waste. Because when you burn waste, you are burning raw materials that go into that waste. And so that is not a renewable form of energy. It's not a sustainable form of energy. And it has significant climate impacts in terms of requiring all the resources to go in to deliver that waste. And for us, climate change impacts, reducing greenhouse gas, is also an important framework that we are working with, and it's part of the reason that we have our zero waste goal is to reduce our climate change impact. And an example of that, at the landfill, when you have organics, particularly food going in, it generates methane, and methane is a very potent greenhouse gas, at least 23 times worse than carbon dioxide. So by diverting organics out of the landfill, returning that organic material to the soil for healthy, sustainable agriculture and plants, then we have the benefit of reducing greenhouse gas as well as sustainable local food production and numerous other benefits, including local jobs in the economy. We believe that local jurisdictions like San Francisco and throughout the world can recycle and compost a lot more than they are. We've achieved 70% diversion through source-separated recycling and composting, but we believe we can go even further because we look at the waste stream and we see that 85 to 90% of it can be recycled and composted. And if we work with producers to encourage them to make more recyclable and compostable products, even a higher percentage of it. So that is going to be more environmentally sound than, say, pursuing burning. The problem with incineration is that these are very expensive facilities, in the hundreds of millions of dollars typically. In order for them to be the most economical, they have to be very large. And in order to be able to justify the investment in incineration, they require a consistent flow of waste from potentially a large area to be able to feed it. And once you have built that plant and made the investment, then you have to feed the incinerator with a lot of waste. And by feeding that hundreds of tons or more a day, that material, you are not able to recycle or compost that material because typically a contract with that incinerator will require that amount of waste. And some incinerator companies won't let you develop any more recycling and composting. So some people say, well, let's recycle and compost as much as possible, then incinerate, but nobody has gotten to near the potential that they can. And as soon as you make that huge investment in a very capital-intensive incinerator, you preclude the ability, you put a ceiling on how much you can recycle and compost. So we believe one should develop programs to maximize recycling and composting on a source separation basis. And then there's technologies to take the mixed waste and to further sort that mixed waste for recycling and composting. And if you get to the point where you have a small amount of residual, then maybe you can look at burning that, but that becomes a very small amount of waste. And typically the capital cost of these facilities is such that they need to be so large to justify them. So we just don't see that, as compatible, for us in the near term. Well, I'd like to send my greetings to the Italian public. I look forward to someday to being able to visit and travel in your country. I know that you are doing a lot of great recycling and composting, and I encourage you to expand recycling and composting and take the vision of zero waste for true sustainable management of our valuable material resources for the future. And this is the path that we are charting in San Francisco, and we encourage you to join us in pursuing a zero waste future. Thank you.
今日も新幹線をご利用くださいましてありがとうございます。この電車はこだま号新大阪行きです。終点新大阪までの各駅に停まります。